In this video, I'm going to show you how I braid a tail. So I have dampened his hair, and then I'm going to use a plaiting spray. So this is my Smooth Braids gel spray. I just spray it down the tops and on each side. And then for some added stickability, you can also use a hair wax. I use this NTR sculpting stick. So across the top, and then just run it down the hairs on each side of the tail. It's a little bit easier when you're not trying to work around a camera stand. So now, what I'm going to do, the easiest way to start is to pick up some hair from one side and a little bit of hair from the other side. So when you're starting out with your tail braids, you can always start holding a bit more hair, and then as you get better at it, or as it depends, also depends on the horse's tail and how hard or easy it is to braid, you can also use a bit less as you go. But I like to start with a little bit more at the top, so it's a bit more secure. It helps, means you don't get the hairs pulling out. So cross them over like that. See if you can see with my fingers out of the way. And now pick up a third piece from one side and cross it over the top and pop it into the middle. So now I have my 3 strands of a plait. And so the way I braid, I like to do the outside, I do the plait movement first, and then I pick up the hair and I add it to the middle. So the same, so outside to middle, so do the plait movement, pick up some hair and add it to the middle. So plait movement, pick up some hair, add it to the middle. And you want to keep it nice and firm. Plait movement, and then pick up the hair and add it to the middle. The first few pickups I like to try and do same again as the beginning. I like to pick up a little bit more to start with. I find it helps secure those top hairs in. And then you're just going to keep going, just taking small bits from the very outside edge and braid all the way down. So pick up some hair, add it to the middle. Plait movement, pick up some hair, add it to the middle. Now a little tip, see if this one here gets a little bit loose, this last one I've done on that side. This is my last opportunity now to tighten that before, if I keep going and I go, oh, I should have tightened it, it's too late. So that's when you grab the hair on this side and you can actually give it a little bit of a pull and firm it up. So same thing, nice and tight. Side to middle, pick up some hair, add it to the middle. But see how that can be a bit loose? So I can pull this one on the right and see how it's now tightened that up. And that is how you can fix it as you go. So then you just keep going all the way down. And you want to keep going right down to, the general rule is to the bottom of the dock. You can't go all the, but some horses have a really long dock, so you might not want to go quite the way down. So see how this one's got a bit loose now? So I'm going to tighten it with that one before I keep going. You want to keep it nice and tight. That one's got a bit loose, so I can tighten it. So the hair wax really just helps to smooth everything in. Keep it nice and firm. And smooth down. So now you've braided down as far as you want to go. There's a couple of different ways that you can finish off your tail braid. One, you can just pop a lacquey right there and just let all the rest of the hair go back into the tail. Or you can do it with a little loop, or you can do it with a big loop. So I'll show you how I do it with a loop. The method, whether you do a short loop or a long loop, when you finish it off and sew it in, is exactly the same. So I'll show you. So once you've finished, you've taken as much hair and you've braided down as long as you want to go, what you need to do now is finish your plait. So you need this to be nice and firm, like you do with your main plaits. So if you've got anyone to help you, you can always get them to hold that hair, or you can clip it out of the way. Also, once you've got the hang of this sort of tail braiding, the other thing you can do is actually drop hair as you're braiding so that your plait doesn't get too thick. Basically, you just drop a piece out the background there as you're doing your braid. Once you've done the plait, you can't drop it. Once you finish the braid and you're down to the plait, you can't drop. So, the trick now, so plait down nice and tight. Another tip for new players, if your hands aren't hurting by about halfway down the braid, you're probably not doing it tight enough. It is completely normal for your hands to cramp. So let's just say that's long enough and I wanted to finish that off there. You can still see, so I plaited that all down. So now, hold your plait, pop a lackey on the end. But before I do my last bit, I'm not going to, for the last one, I'm not going to pull the hair all the way through. So what I want to do now is actually, I want to do it like this, but leave a bit of a little bobble like that. So it's actually folded over like that. Then I'm going to grab a second lackey and wrap it around there. Or if you've got enough of it, you can do it part way through the first lackey and do it. So now you can see it's actually folded over that. And the reason we do this is so now when I'm going to pop it up and in, the hair easily hangs down and joins the rest of the tail. So I'm going to push it up in there. And so now I just get my needle and thread. So it's just the same plaiting needle that I use for all my plaits for forelocks and for mains. It's just quite a blunt end with a nice big nail, and there's no knot on it. I just pull it through so there's a bit of a tail. And then to sew it in, just come up through the plait, pull it till you can, the tail's tucked away, back down, back up, back down, and I'll probably do it one more time. Up. And then trim it off. And that brush the rest of the tail out, let that the hair join in. Sit nice and flat. And that is how I braid a tail. Tail's a bit wonky. That's how I braid a tail. I hope that helped.